Good morning, everybody, or afternoon. I don't know what time it is. Hello, whatever time you're watching this. Luis, Green Zebra Gardening here. Today we're going to go ahead, let's move you out a little. Today we're going to go ahead and add in the 4 substrate bricks that I have left over from Long Beach mushrooms. Depending on how I edit this, you may or may not have seen me bring everything over here. I have the bucket for the compost from the kitchen, and I also have some extra bags because I hadn't gotten out here in a minute. But and I have another brick over here. So we're gonna go ahead and aerate this. We're gonna go ahead and drop some more stuff in. Oh, I didn't even check the temperature on that, but it's hovering. There we go. We're just above 60. As you saw, it was only up for a second, so that's not gonna make a huge difference. So I'm gonna go ahead and break up the bricks. I'm thinking I'm gonna go ahead and aerate it first, drop in that, and plus there's a bucket down there. I'm gonna drop that in after I aerate it. Then I'm gonna break all these guys up along with that one. We're gonna cover it up, and on the other side of that gate we have grass clippings. So I'm gonna top that off too. The last time I did this, I had it basically just above this, put the lid on it, and it's actually gone down quite a bit. Which is I think what most of this is the grass that was on there before. I don't think I added any kind of soil, so this must be compost. Check out all these worms though. And just by doing that, oh yeah, look at that, we have lots and lots of worms. That's always good to see. Alright, let me set you guys up and we'll go from there. Alright, so we're back. So I just showed you the video of me basically just spinning this stuff around. But I did want to show you, I don't have a hand trowel or anything. This stuff is broken down pretty well. I threw all my... So the contents of this bin is essentially all of the plants I had in here for last summer, because now we're in, what are we in? January? Almost February next week. Crazy. So I threw all the plants that were in here. They were not diseased. All the diseased stuff went out into the actual garbage because my city doesn't have a green/compost pickup. It's just garbage or recycle, which is insane to me. Anyway, I went ahead and dropped in all the plants that still looked fairly healthy and fairly decent. I threw them all in here. I've thrown in all kinds of stuff in here. And so it's breaking down. It's been breaking down since probably, I'd say, October. I don't remember when I did that whole clean out. Probably should have done a YouTube video on it. That way it'll help me keep me track of dates, and it shows you guys what I'm doing. Anyway, so as you may or may not have seen inside here, I took out the one substrate brick, just like that one, or those over there in the cart. Not sponsored by Gorilla Cart over there, but I love that cart. Anyways, so I broke it up just to kind of help it in here, because you don't have to break them up, and I haven't done that with all of them. In fact, I've actually gotten lazy sometimes, and I've just put the bricks right on top. But it does help to break down easier. And the ones that I haven't broken off, I've had them grow massive mushrooms coming out the sides. And this looks like a tomato plant, maybe a tomato seed that was in there somewhere and just germinated. So this stuff is pretty broken down. I would need to want to get a compost sifter, or at least maybe build something, but I haven't been able to find. I know I have an idea, and I've seen a couple people do it on YouTube, but I don't have the parts. I need a wheel rim for bicycle wheels. I need actually 2 of them in order to go ahead and do what I want to do. And I would probably put it over in that corner. That way I can shovel from here, throw it into the sifter, it drops it into the cart, and then that way, one side would dump out all the extra large pieces which are going to go back in here, and then all the sifted compost is going to go in there, and I can take them down the walkway here and top off the beds. That's a whole nother thing. So for now, I'm going to finish off. I'm going to dump all this stuff in here, and then I'm going to put I'm probably going to grab some grass too, put that on top of the waste, the kitchen waste, then basically just layer it in, then do some of that, some more grass, and then that way it'll break down, and then we'll shove the thermometer back in here. It'll probably take a couple days for it to heat back up, but once that's done, then it'll hopefully go back down, and we might repeat this process maybe next week when I go pick up some mushrooms, when I go pick up my subscription box from Long Beach Mushrooms. If I get there early enough, I can pick up probably about another dozen bricks. That way I can just have them here, and then just add them a little bit at a time. So let's set you guys back up and let's layer this in. Well, I just realized I didn't start the video when I did this, but basically I layered in all the bricks I had over there, the brick I had in here. Actually, no, I lied. Sorry, the brick I had in here is still at the bottom of this because it was way too tough to break it up. So I ended up putting in, we had 2 bags of grass clippings. They had been outside that gate over there on the other side for quite a while. I'd say probably about a week or so. They were in black trash bags, plastic bags at that. The heat had gotten to them until they started to break down. It smelled as wonderful as you would imagine. It's the anaerobic smell because it's way too wet, and yeah, it smells horrible. So I ended up topping off on top of what I showed you last, I think, in this was just the soil itself. I broke a single brick all over it. Then I layered in the stuff in the kitchen scraps. I layered in another brick of the substrate. I dropped in all the grass. The grass was soaking wet, because it was already decomposing. And so that's going to help water the lower part. And so then I ended up taking the second plastic trash bag of the grass, and I dumped a good portion of it in here. Or I dumped it all out in here first. Then I added another layer. That's why I grabbed the gloves. These are Digs. These are pretty good. They're great for touchscreens. So as I'm shooting this video, I don't have to take them off. They're not sponsoring, but I wouldn't mind it. The only thing I don't like about them is because this stuff is so wet. It goes through, the liquid goes through, so I'm going to have to definitely wash my hands after this, obviously. But it keeps all the gunk off of my fingers. Anyway, I went ahead and topped it all off, and then added the other bricks, which is the ones that were over there, and then the extra brick I had left over, I went ahead and just poured it in here. Tried to mix it up a little, that way once this goes down in, I'd say probably about a week or so, I can then just grab from here, dump it in there, and it keeps going down. And I'll aerate it, bring the stuff up like I did before, grab this, probably half of it, and then add whatever, and then slowly throughout the week as this goes down, I'll probably be tossing in whatever scraps we get from the kitchen. But that's basically it. I'm just gonna put the cover on this. I did water the top, even though right below that brown layer, which is one of the substrate bricks, which half of it went there. So I put about 1.5 in here. I put the other half in here just because it's so high. Watered it down. There's stinky wet grass right underneath it, but I don't want the top to dry, and it helps settle it better. Oh, and the only other thing I have to do before I do that, so it was at about 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Because I just did this, it's not gonna, it might go up just a tiny bit to maybe 65. Because it was just in that other container. That one's not that hot. I don't want that other container to be that hot. So it is going up. But it is gonna take, I would say, at least a few days. So once that goes down, hold on, here, may as well just do it now. I'm not worried about animals and whatnot getting into it, because since I put this stuff in it, the compost, the substrate, I don't think they're gonna really want to go in there. So I would check on this in about a week. I gotta clean up the garbage and rinse out make sure that bucket is fully rinsed out, and I can pour that into the banana tree over here to help feed it, because it's so pretty and all. It has a new leaf coming up. But that's pretty much it. That's how I maintain my compost. Alright guys, that's really it. I'm gonna go through and I might shoot a video on all the lovely calendulas that are on here. I did have a lovely conversation with Justin over at Long Beach Mushrooms, which is where I get these bricks, about something we might be working on, so stay tuned for that. That's pretty much it. Catch you guys on the next one. Don't forget to hit the bell notification, hit the subscribe button, and hit that thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments on the compost specifically for this video, or honestly anything else, drop down below. Go ahead and follow me over on Instagram at Green Zebra Gardening, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.